So after doing the 50 forts, which would be done on foot because they were connected by beautiful trails, then I had another 150 forts left, which were actually totally spread out. Like I had to go north of Nasik.
दीपक स्वामी ब्लॉगला सबस्क्राईब करा, शेजारील बेल बटन दाबा जेणेकरून आपणास नवीन व्हिडिओचे नोटिफिकेशन मिळेल.
I had to go to the Kongkan coast, I had to go all the way to Kolhapur. So I'm not much excited to run on roads. So I actually brought my cycle from Chennai to cycle between these forts. But then also I thought, okay, cycling is going to take me months and months, so spread out. So I finally ended up borrowing a bike from a friend in Pune. And then I actually had organized these remaining 150 forts region-wise. So like North Nasik, West Nasik, South Nasik, Harishchandragarh, the Kalsubai range, Konkan South, north of Mumbai, Sadra region. I was actually planning to do like region per region. I had some 10 regions, starting with Nasik because the Sahyadris were most of Majestic and north of Nasik actually. You see some of the biggest forts in those ranges. Beauty about Nasik is also, even though you cannot connect the forts by foot, still many of the forts are like connected on single ridges, on single mountain ranges. So with a bike actually you could quickly go into the roads below and actually quickly tick off one fort after the other. This is the Ajanta Satmal range where again you cover a lot of forts in a single mountain range. Famous one, second highest fort in Sahyadris, Dolapya. This is a beauty. I stayed on top. Here you can see the Sosa, the sunset actually on the main Dolap side towards like that. It's a very narrow kind of traverse. Next. So then going a little bit further north, you have this Selbari, Dolbari ranges, more further north Nasik. Also very concentrated there. You can do lots of forts, almost like 15 I guess, all pretty close together. So very quick to travel and tick them off one by one. Again, having time on my hands, I didn't have to go back into office in between, just doing 2-3 forts and then traveling up and down every weekend. I could actually spend a whole week there and tick this off in like 4 or 5 days, I think. So here you have some of the biggest forts like next slide, like Saleh Saludo, that's a typical, beautiful, very majestic fort. You have this like rocket step that gets you to the top of Saleh, the highest fort of Sahyadris. Here you're at the Saluda, the twin fort of Saleh. Then again, going west again, beauty, so all connected, Trimbak range. So I was able to do like another 10 forts over there. We can just go a little quicker, I guess, in the interest of time. This was very, this I haven't seen in too many places. So some of the forts, you have these corridors, they cut straight into this basalt rock to actually put a staircase from one part of the fort to the other part. Does anyone know this place? It's actually near a pretty touristic fort. Trimbak region. So this is Durkbandar actually, which is connected. Is a twin fort of this other one. I forgot the name. So there actually you go deep into a corridor actually, and then you cover like a horizontal traverse, the ridge to go again through another staircase that gets you to the other side of the mountain. Actually, very amazing how they cut those steps. Must have taken months and months. So this one is the famous one. Yeah, Harima, right? The steep staircase, the beauty with rock cut steps. So we'll just keep going a little bit. So the next one, we can skip to the next region. So the fourth region I did then was coming down systematically from Nasik further south. So first you have the Kalsubai range. So I already had covered like AMK and a couple of forts and peaks around the Mandatara reservoir. But still there were a lot of, like, that's what I mean, all these spread out forts that are like difficult to actually connect because you have to run on the road. Very interesting as the trail runners. So quite a few forts there in the Kalsubai range. In a beauty. We need to work on our history, guys. This is Tringelwadi. Tringelwadi has this beautifully cut rock caves. Like it almost looks like a concrete ceiling, beautifully constructed, but all carved out of the rock. Here you just see the entrance, but inside this cave you see like very beautiful like ceiling rock. Finely cut rock designs. Yeah. Next one. So then Harishchandraghat is one of my favorite areas. In addition to Harishchandraghat itself, which is here somewhere, I think. There are so many. Harishchandraghat is like a wild, like a reserve or like a national park. I mean, it's not restricted, but it's like one region actually in the Ahmednagar district where you have a lot of interesting forts, a bit lesser known because not that easy accessible, but a lot of beautiful forts and peaks in that site. We can just pick one in the next slide and just see. It's very less known, but a beautiful one. I mean, that's on this fort you can see Harishchandraghat a bit farther away. And this is like a very beautiful place, very untouched, but amazing views. Most probably you all know this is Kunjarghat's beauty. Kunjarghat has actually a special feature. There's actually a hole there, natural hole, that goes from one side of the mountain. You can actually climb through that hole, and then when you end up at the other side of the mountain, it's like a steep hill down on the other side actually. Very unique. Next one. Okay, we'll keep moving around in the interest of time. Region 6, again, very beautiful is this place south of Lonavala, right? You have these two water bodies, so the Mauna water body, around which you have like Tikona, Tungfort, Visapur and Logagator there. So a lot of forts around, so a very beautiful scenic place. You can then get down the Tamini Ghat and also have a couple of forts in the Konkan Plains. So this is the famous one. By La Bala, right? The typical favorite rock climbing destination. Next one. This again is very less known, but also beauty. Gangat could be, I guess. I forgot if we think. Yeah, Gangat, correct. You're actually looking away from Gangat. But the beauty, because from Gangat again, you look down into the Konkan Plains. Gangat is interesting because quite a little bit of the rock cut steps and the entrance is still preserved, so it's really a beauty. Yeah. And 7th, then I actually proceeded towards the Konkan side, got a little more humid and so started covering quite a few forts north of Mumbai on the coastline as well as in Mumbai. A couple of Mumbai's here, a little bit of forts around it which are quite nice. So we can just keep moving a little bit, Aditya. Now, maybe we'll just pick a random one, very majestic fort. Anybody else wants to guess? This is also considered as the possible capital of Sudaghat, correct? One of the groups, the guys that I gave a talk yesterday, Raigat are actually doing some restoration in this fort. I think they were going to install big wooden doors and they were removing like big boulders from this place to free the entry. I mean, amazing how these volunteers carry up these 400-kilogram doors all the way up to the fort and to restore this. Then Mumbai, okay, that was Mumbai South then, I guess. So now Mumbai North. Okay, sorry. So Mumbai North again, quite a few forts, I mean all close to each other, so you could easily bike 10-20 kilometers between the forts and tick off some of these things. So just pick up one in the next slide again. And yeah, this is a very famous one. Mahuli indeed. Mahuli, which has two kind of sides, forts on both sides of the mountains also. So I think this is where Chhatrapati Shivaji's father used to manage this fort. Next. Oops, here we have one without the pictures. Oops. Which has some unique dike also on top. Next one. And Konkan South, yeah. So Konkan I reached somewhere at 100 150 forts. So then I was able to tick off like almost like 35 forts just following below south of Mumbai. If you follow the Konkan coast, you have so many forts, one after the other you could do. Most of them on the coastline, some of them in the sea, just inside the sea in some islands, and some of them a little bit inland, but very beautiful because driving along that Konkan coast is so beautiful. I think Maharashtra has really some amazing beaches that can easily rival with the beaches in Goa. We'll just again pick out two random ones. This one is pretty famous. It's a sea fort. Very amazing how even some of the stones got completely eroded, but like the way they used to put the fort together with this ancient, I don't know, mix of something, like ancient kind of cement kind of, which is still intact after 400 years of being battered by the sea waves. This is Rebdana fort actually, built by the Portuguese but also captured by Shivaji during some of the wars. And then another one, this was a beauty. I could swim actually from the coast to this like pretty important fort. Any idea? It's a bit further down in the Konkan coast. It's just it's on an island. Yeah, Suvarnadurga actually. Very majestic walls built up on the fort actually. And I think it was also used by the navy of Shivaji to build new, built his navy, basically built ship as a shipyard. Yeah. And then the last region again was Satara. Satara is again very spread out, not very majestic, not like Nasik, but a lot of some 30 forts around the southern side, down south from Pune. Some of these are really beautiful. Every fort is actually unique in the way you climb to it and the kind of structures you were able to find at each fort. So again, we can just pick out one or two. Very unique, this kind of way, rock cut steps. Tategat, yeah, actually, Tategat. And Kamalghat is the other one, the only other one that I saw which also has this kind of, this is actually a water tank. This is not like a staircase, but this is just like to in. Very essential on every fort is of course your water, ability to have water so people can survive a siege for a couple of months if needed by any hostile armies. So in Kamalghat as well as in Tategat, you have this like 30 meters deep staircase cut into the rock, this solid basalt rock, and then it's so deep actually to store the water there, so the soldiers or whoever was fleeing, holding up from the invasion at the base was able to survive, have enough water to... There's also a beauty, it's not a fort, but it's like a deep well near Kawar, which is actually the confluence of the Krishna and the Konya river. We took a dip there and that's amazing. That's again like very deep, like 30 meters deep. This was in actually, I guess in the end of December when I finished my trip. So during the monsoon actually this water level comes to here actually. So this is like a city well. All citizens of Karat in those days would have used that single well for their water needs. Voila, so that was a little bit of a visual journey. Now I'm going to come to the matter of the presentation. So how I packed, how I planned my trip. I hope you're still okay time-wise. Yeah. Right, so this is the same stuff I use in the Himalayas, so where I'm far away from any human civilizations, where I'm far away from any mobile network. Again, if you want to, I'll just give you a couple of slides on this. If you're really interested in becoming alpine style, finding your own way, using maps, navigating by yourself. I've been doing this 10 years in dense jungles in South India. I've been covering, as you saw, 160 passes in the most remote corners of the Himalayas. So these are some of the applications I use to find my way without any external dependency. So as a base map, I actually use OpenStreetMaps. Anyone is familiar with OpenStreetMaps in the audience? Unfortunately not, but OpenStreetMaps is like a public domain kind of system. So it's not like Google Maps. Google Maps is pretty good in the city, right? You have to go to the airport, your routes using Google Maps. This is more something that starts where Google Maps stops. Google Maps stops where the road ends. OpenStreetMaps have a lot of things beyond the road, like trails, passes, even like forts. We have a lot of useful information, like the rivers are there, mountain ranges are shown, forests are shown, cultivated lands are shown. So it gives you a lot of useful information as an outdoor person, as a hiker, to understand the landscape and the terrain. So if we then go to the next slide. Okay, so the second very important thing that every serious outdoor hiker should learn to read is contours. Contours are topographic maps that give you a very clear understanding. It's like a two-dimensional projection of a relief of a mountain. So any serious navigator will actually use a paper contour map, but again, these days we can use soft contour maps because it's using the GPS of your phone, you can directly show your positions on this thing. So here you're actually looking at Kalsubai and Sakira and the Bandardara Reservoir again with the Soma mountain range. So looking at this, I can immediately say where the valleys are, where are the peaks. I can see which are the most likely approaches, the ridges that will get me to the top of Kalsubai or Sakira. I have a very clear understanding, although I've never been to this place, I have immediately a good understanding of the shape, basically of the elevation of the terrain of the mountain range. Yeah. And then the beauty about all this, I'm talking about this because this is all available offline. You can download these maps. This is first of all free. You have a lot of OpenStreet viewer applications on the phone. I'm using OSM AND. All the screenshots you see is an application available on both iPhone and Android. OSM AND, OpenStreetMaps Android, I think it's called, as it was available originally on Android. And it has amazing facilities. Just like I said, you route in the city to the airport, Google will show you the routes. This application will actually show you the routes. Like here we are going from Bandardara, we're climbing to Sakira, a very beautiful route by the way. They're not touristic routes. Most of the tourists come from the opposite side. From there you go to Kalsubai and then you get down. So this application will tell you how far it is. It will show you a beautiful elevation profile. It will show you the steepness, the gradient of the climb and the drop. And it shows you useful information. What is your total elevation gain, total drop. And it will actually allow you to route actually. So you can simply just you navigate in the city, follow exactly the trail, so beauty. And then also for me and for anyone who goes a little bit further, you can actually plan your journey. And you can look at the overall map, multiple passes in the Himalayas or multiple forts in the Sahyadris, and you can visually plan your day or the next couple of days, line up your intermediate targets and nicely plan your journey. People who follow me on Instagram would have regularly seen these stories like this is my plan for the next 1 week. These 24s I'm going to cover in the next 3 days or something like that. So very useful in planning your ongoing trip. Next. Right, so that's OSM AND. Please download that application. You can download the maps of Maharashtra. You can install the contour lines. Start working with it, at least start using that on your next trip to the Sahyadris, because it's, you can switch, I always switch my phone in flight mode, battery savings mode, so it goes for a longer time. In the Himalayas especially, you don't have a village to power your phone on a regular basis. So completely disconnected from the mobile network, you have all your maps with you, your contour lines, your trails. So one beautiful website that probably some of you are familiar with is Rambler, rambler.com. I see a lot of hikers in Pune and Mumbai who actually upload routes from the base to the top of the forest on this website. I was not aware of this until I came here. So with this website, actually, I was able to download 95% of my trails of those 200 forts, at least from 180 to 190 forts. I was able to type in the name of the fort, say Tigona, and it would show me a couple of hikers who had gone to Tigona, uploaded the trail. So I started downloading 180 trails from this, and I just put it in a master map, which I then downloaded on top of my OpenStreetMaps, allowing me to navigate without any local village guide, basically. And then one very important thing that I've been using for more than a decade is, of course, Google Satellite Maps. Some of you might have seen this. Maybe you haven't studied it too much. But if you zoom in Google satellite maps, you can see amazing details. So this is like a little trail which would be just like 40 centimeter wide. As long as there is a good contrast, which mostly there is, because as people walk or as buffaloes walk on this trail, they will remove the topsoil and you will get a different color of trail versus neighboring terrain. So you really can easily spot trails which are not available if you don't find the GPS log. You can look at forts and you can see the water tanks, the ruins and all. Get a very clear idea of places that you still have to go, which are new to you. You're exploring these places, but you can already know in advance, draw these kind of trace these kind of trails, download them again on top of your OSM OpenStreetMap, and know how to find your way up or down to the forts. So every time before I like spend the entire summer and in the Himalayas, actually I used to spend weeks and weeks behind my computer looking at satellite maps, looking at blogs, and actually compiling all these trails together in a big master map. So I can go independently for the next 4 months, 3,000 kilometers, covering 100 passes where I've never been before, but I have my trails in my pocket. So I also spend a lot of time on documenting what I do, all the maps, all the trails that sometimes took weeks to put together, blogs, photos, videos, presentations like this one. It's all available on my blog, so have a look if you're interested. There is a lot of valuable material here. You can download those 200 forts map into your phone directly. You can see all the 160 passes that I covered in the Indian Himalayas. They're all beautifully documented, difficulty level, dangerous, easy, total climb, where to start, where to end. So a lot of useful information, which I believe is important that we share it so other people can easily follow in the same footsteps, because I know how hard it was to collect this information. I mean, there's very little documentation available from the government, or even very few people blog about their journeys. So as I said, this weekend available in a small minimal version on the blog, but this weekend I'm going to spend 2 days in Pune, somewhere in the outskirts, going some deep diving on maps. What are all the maps you can use in India? We'll go on some very interesting maps like Survey of India, some US and Soviet Army military maps that you can use to find some ancient trails and some forts again and temples that might not be there anymore in these days. But we'll deep dive with some really nice mix of theory as well as hands-on assignments to get you guys into map reading and navigation. So anyone interested to join, you can still sign up for the weekend next. Yeah, so then minimalistic packing. So this is actually my little bag. So I mean, I can just show you live actually. So there's not much in this. I'm gonna remove this. Is not my hiking. This is like a Burachi. I mostly use these minimalistic chapels because they're very comfortable. It's like 60 rupee materials, rubber mats from cars. In this bag, this is a 10-liter bag, right? So not much you can pack. The bigger bag you take along with you, you always tend to fill up the bag, so don't start off with a 40 or 50-liter backpack. I don't think you need that in these kind of lower altitudes. Even in the Himalayas, I don't think you need a 60, 70-liter bag. 30, 40 liters is more than enough. So actually only 3 things in this bag. Obviously a mat, you need to sleep a little bit comfortably on the soil in the wild, or even if you sleep in a temple, it's pretty cold on the surface, so you want to protect yourself from the cold underground with a proper thermocol mat. This is again Quechua. And then again, in the bag there are only 2 things, this one and this one. So this is like a lightweight, it's actually again coincidentally from Decathlon. Quechua S15. S15 is more than enough for like in the Western Ghats, you never go much above 2,000 meters. So this is again nice, 600 grams only, keeps you warm. You sleep in a village, mostly even a blanket will do, but again, in case you end up on top of fort at the end of the day, like this will keep you warm. And it's really, I mean, thermally speaking, efficient for the weight it's this. And then some magic, which I discovered actually this year. I used to actually carry the Quechua T2 tank, which is like 2.2 kilograms, a little bit heavy last year. But this year I discovered like a beautiful thing. So independent again of the brand, is available with many brands. It's called a Bivy. BB is like amazing in the sense that it's just 500 grams. It's like a one-person tent, you can say. It's like a BB, like a kind of a mummy bag that goes over your sleeping bag and your mat. And this thing is amazing. Like it traps the body heat. It's rain-proof. I slept on the base of Stock Hungary at 4,900 meters in ice-cold rain. I slept on top of the Kangla Glacier, like one of the biggest glaciers connecting Lahore and Zanskar, again on ice almost. In this BV, like keeps you like warm even at those extreme climates. It's beautiful also in the way that it's useful for high altitude, but even in this lower altitude, like the Western Ghats, it's breathable. You can close it fully, that it's waterproof, but you can also just close like a small mosquito net, so that it's breathable actually inside. You don't suffocate, you don't sweat in lower altitudes, but you're still kind of, you can either keep it open or you can close that mosquito net, which gives you the benefit that no insects can come to you. Again, most of the time there are no mosquitoes we know on top, but still in some places you will have insects. And again, if you sleep in jungles, that mosquito, that net will also keep you safe from reptiles, from snakes. So in your sleeping bag, in this BV, you can then peacefully sleep, at least in the wild. So very nice, because you're talking about 500 plus 600 plus maybe, I don't know, 100 or 200 grams. So for 1.3 kilogram, you are completely safe to pitch up anywhere at the end of the day. Very lightweight, not pulling you down. You're like carrying 10 kilograms of big sleeping bags or tents along with you. So here you can see how it's put up actually with a single carbon pole, so that you have a little bit of space on your head. You can read a book or use your phone in between. Unfortunately, not yet available in India, so I mostly get it from the US through some friends. This is at the base of Holland, by the way. Beautiful place. Nobody mostly goes on this side of Holland. Next. Then solo. So, I'm showing you some, I hope to inspire some of you. I also hope not to over-inspire you directly, people who are a bit new to hiking, to the outdoors especially. Okay, Western Ghats, Sahyadris is okay, but Himalayas, just be a little careful. Before you venture solo out there, as you go to higher 4,000 or 5,000 meter altitudes, weather terrain becomes pretty extreme. So as a novice, I at least initially go maybe with guided groups, commercial groups, then maybe with a couple of friends. But still, eventually, once you're a little bit more experienced and you gain a lot of experience in lower altitudes, then you can go to the higher altitudes and also give it a shot to go solo. Solo is amazing, I feel, because it gives you so much more intense hiking experience or running experience. So there's nobody to talk to, so you're all on your own. So you take your environment, your experience much more deep inside you. It's a much more peaceful feeling to be alone there on top of a pass or a fort. Nobody around you, only the sound of the wind. And one thing I've noticed is as I go solo, as a solo traveler, I settle in a bigger group, hospitality is always overwhelming. If they see a single person coming at the end of the day in the village, people are most likely to open their doors and invite you rather than they barging into the village with 10 people, which they will not be able to feed or host. So, a little bit scary at sometimes when you're in the mighty Himalayas, you're walking on a glacier all alone, no human sign, like 3 days in any direction, very overwhelming landscape. Some of these glaciers are like the size of like parts of Pune, like Kokrut. And then it's a bit scary, but at the end, once you overcome that initial fear, going alone in these remote places, it's like a very peaceful, very meditative journey basically. Okay, so here, anyone knows this place? This is again in the Sahyadris, where I ended up at the end of the day, not in the village. Unfortunately, so no food, no charge for my phone that day, but beautiful sunrise and sunset here. You already saw it earlier in the presentation, this fort. So this is Chanderi Fort again, and Mahudi beyond that, and you're looking towards the Mumbai direction. So here actually is a small top of Nakin hill. Nakin is beauty because actually from Mataran you can get down the road, you can get on that railway track. The railway track you can connect to Vitikan Pep, which is the more known fort. From Vitikan Pep again you can follow the ridge all the way to Nakin's So very beautiful kind of traverse. Very small place was there available, like steep drop on all the sides. But again, amazing to just camp on top of that and watch the sun rising in the morning. The valley was full of clouds in the morning. Nice experience. So most of the time, again, as I said, I don't use my BV even in the Himalayas. I just sleep in the open with the mat and sleeping bag. Yeah. Well, done foods again. Sahyat is a simple villages all around, so no need to carry again 500 or kilograms of food with you. Just optimize your weight, plan your day that at least at the end of the day or once in a day, you pass a village where you will either get hospitality, free food, or you will find a shop. This is my favorite foods, which I picked up in Maharashtra. Pitla with bakri. First time this photo is taken on Harish Chandra. This is the first time that I really had these very thick bakris, not the white rice bakris, but the really thick ones which they make with the hands that easily break while making. So it was really yummy. So that's kind of local fresh food rather than all this plastic packed food you sometimes carry from the supermarkets, energy bars. Nothing like fresh food, I can tell you, because I've been running on fresh food in the Himalayas or the Sahyadris for months, and that gives you the energy actually to keep going day by day. Next one. So then again, hospitality. This is actually a small village at the base of, on the base of what was again that steep staircase. Yeah, Harihar basically. Not the usual base village, but actually you can climb Harihar also from the other valley. So there you have a very small village where I ended up at after doing Harihar quickly in the evening. And again, like I was settling down in the temple, but if people like feel guilty you're sleeping there in the temple floor, no, please come to my home. This guy, he gave me like a hot shower, which was so nice after the sweating for a couple of weeks. Give me again freshly homemade food. And then in this particular place, I ended up on his bed where that person actually was sleeping on the floor because he only had one bed in his home. So very amazing, heartwarming hospitality again. Just like I had the experience for a couple of years in the Himalayas already. And the humanity, actually the innocence of these people in these small villages is amazing compared to the people in the city. You can feel the difference as you go to the bigger towns. You cannot expect anyone to take you in that easily. Again, water, I mean, most people, I think you can easily carry 1 liter with water with you for your hydration needs, especially when you go towards the summer. But I personally, I never carry water. I never carry a single drop of water, whether it's in the Himalayas, whether it's either in the high altitude deserts of Ladakh, Zanskar, or whether it's in the Sahyadris. There are enough natural water bodies out there, especially post-monsoon when I was coming here. The streams, the wells in the villages, natural water again on these long journeys of months altogether.